Hi everyone, welcome to our channel, Rebecca, Stu, and the crew. Today we have some Dollar Tree DIY ideas for you guys. So let's go over our supplies. We'll need these heart ring wreath shapes. We're also going to use 2 rolls of this ribbon from Dollar Tree and 1 of these doilies with some raffia. We're also going to need some scissors and some hot glue. We'll need these little pliers. So let's get crafty. The first thing we're going to do is take the smallest of the 3 rings and we're going to use those pliers to cut right where they join together and then just kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit till it pops apart. Now we're going to take this ribbon from Dollar Tree. We're going to fold it over just to where the first square starts and we're going to cut tiny little holes every 2 squares, and then we're going to weave this onto our wreath frame, going backwards and forward until you get this pattern that looks like a wavy ribbon all the way around. And as you can see, I stop and just cut little holes at every single or every other square. So right at the square, I just cut a little notch, and then I keep putting this on, going forward and backward, and I do 2 full rolls of this ribbon from Dollar Tree. There's 9 feet in all, so it ends up being 18 feet of this ribbon. Then I just adjust it and get it to look really nice. Just move it around so it's really well spread out and evenly placed on your wreath form. And then if you like, you can just glue the metal back together and then slide the ribbon over top of it. Then I take this doily and I fold it in 3, just by folding the 2 ends together to make a long rectangle. And then I do a fan fold through the center, just gathering it up to make a bow. And then we're going to take some ribbon and just tie that right around the center, just make a knot. This is a really simple craft project. We're just going to make a very simple knot here. Make sure you have it right in the middle and just adjust your bow. Just want to keep adjusting it until it looks the same on both sides. Then you can leave it as is, or you can add more to it. I decided to add a little bit more. First, I'm going to take just a piece of rope and I'm going to fold it in half and pull that around the top of my heart form to create a hanger. And then I'll just tie a knot in the 2 pieces together, and that will be the loop that I use to hang it with. And I'll cut off the top little tassels there so they don't show. You can do a hanger any way you like. You can add like a little hook on the back or, you know, a different piece of yarn, whatever you like. I'm just going to use this rope because I had it on hand. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and cut those little extra pieces off so we won't see that once we hang the whole thing up. And now we're going to take that raffia and we're going to make a few loops with it, and then we'll tie that off in the center to create a very simple bow. So it's just a few strands of raffia that we made loops and then just tie it off in the center. And if you have any long pieces kind of sticking out on the sides, you can trim those off with your scissors to make it more even. And then we fluff the bow up a little bit. And then we add some hot glue to the middle of our doily bow and add the raffia bow to the center. And then we glued that to the wreath, and that's it. Super simple, and it turned out so pretty when it was done. I just love the way that this looks. Now for our second craft today, let's go over the supplies. We'll need one of these heart metal tins from Dollar Tree, one of the DIY sticky wall tiles, some pearls. We'll need some regular pearls that you can put on a string, some paintbrushes and paints of your choice. We'll also need some of this ribbon that I also picked up at Dollar Tree, some scissors, and some hot glue. So let's get crafty. So our second craft today is super easy. We're going to cut the hanger off of the heart and then trace it out on our wall tile. Then we'll just use our scissors to trace around the heart, cut that out. And of course, this is layered because it has that sticky material on the back. But once you cut it out, the sticky material just comes right off. It's not attached all the way on the back. So I use the backing there to put inside the heart. Since we traced the outside, this is a little bit too big. So we're just going to use our marker to mark off the edges there, and then put that with our tile, and then use that to cut the excess off. And then we'll have the perfect size heart to go inside of the metal tin. Because obviously tracing the outside, you get it just a little bit bigger than the inside. And now it fits perfectly. So we'll take that back out, and we're going to go ahead and paint it. So I first used just this apple barrel paint in light pink. And it takes a couple coats because it wants to show through that metal there. But I believe I did 3 coats in all. And then it was really well covered. And then after it dries, I take this shimmery white paint that I picked up at Michael's craft store. It's just a white iridescent shimmer, and I add just a little bit to the brush and brush over those raised edges of the wall tile to add a little bit of that shimmer and pick up the design in the tile, because it really kind of falls flat once you paint it. I really wanted to be able to see the decoration on the wall tile. That's pretty much why I use the tile, is I like the decoration on it. So I want it to stand out a little bit more, which is why we're using that light shimmer paint. Once that dries, we can go ahead and use some hot glue to add the tile to the center of the heart. And then to clean up the edges and decorate it a little bit, we'll use these sticky pearls that come on those large strands of like sticky tape. And you can add more hot glue here if you want to, but I just used the sticky tape that came with it and just attach that to the tile. And I work my way all around the border of the heart, and then I start to separate the strand and put the pearls on one at a time. And I just kind of randomly place them where I thought that they would look nice. I start with making it almost look like the dice on the number 5. You've got the middle and then the 4 corners. And then I just keep adding the pearls a little further out, following that diagonal line. And you can add as many or as little as you like. I kind of wanted a little bit more, so I went across the center and did like the X pattern. Then I go right up and down the center and add a few more of the pearls. Then we'll add a pearl to a piece of string or yarn or ribbon of your choice. Then take that and put it right through the hole at the top that twine hanger was in. And this will help hold the pearl and the ribbon in the top. So it looks like the pearl goes through it. And then all I did was take a few more pearls and I strung the pearls on the ribbon. So it looks like it goes straight through. And then just tie a knot at the top to create a loop, and that's what we'll hang it by. I just made sure I made a double knot and cut off that excess. And to make sure the knot didn't come untied, I added a little bit of hot glue at the top. Just because the ribbon was really slippery, it had like a shiny finish to it, and I didn't want it to come undone. So now we'll take that pink ribbon from Dollar Tree, and we're going to cut these little notches out of the sides to make it a little bit more decorative, and we'll add some hot glue to the middle, fold it in half, and then we'll fold the ends backwards to create this little bow. I took 2 pieces and glued them together to make the bow, and then I used some of the pearls to wrap around the center of the bow, and then add a few of the single pearls to the bow, kind of all over, just to decorate it. And this will help make it coordinate and match up with the heart that we just added all those pearls to. Then we'll take some hot glue and add the bow right to the center of our holder or hanger there. And that's it. Just a very simple, straightforward craft, but so pretty. You can leave this up for Valentine's Day and really all year through. It's just a nice, pretty accent. So now for our supplies for our third and final project today, we'll need some scissors and some hot glue. We're also going to use some paintbrushes and paint. We're going to need one of these little craft boxes from Dollar Tree and this stamp set. We're going to need one plain envelope, these little wooden hearts. I'm going to use a few of those, and some cotton twine. We're also going to use some scrapbook paper, some vintage rose, and then you can either use tacky glue or a glue stick and some beads. we'll need a little tag, either the white or brown, and some of the laser die cut pieces from Dollar Tree. So let's get crafty. So the first thing we're going to do is make the love letters. So we're going to create an envelope by opening up this envelope and tracing it on the paper. Now, of course, the envelope's a little bit bigger, but that's not a problem. We're just going to fold the paper in half and then cut around the outside edge here to get the shape of an envelope. And then we'll just fold the pieces in and add some glue and glue the bottom together. We'll leave the top open for now because we want to stuff these and make them look like they're full of love letters. So we're going to take just a plain piece of paper now and fold it so it's nice and thick and the right size to fit in our makeshift envelope. And then just stuff the envelope. And then once you have it stuffed, if you want to, you can add a sticker to close it, or you can just glue it shut. It's really up to you. And I try to use a couple different colors of the vintage style paper. Then I'm taking that stamper that looks like a postmark from that stamp set from Dollar Tree, and I'm coloring it with a brown marker instead of ink, and I'll just stamp that on the envelope all around in different places to look like it's been postmarked. And each time I just add a little bit more ink from the Crayola marker. Just make sure it's well saturated and then stamp your envelope. And we'll do it one more time so you guys can see this paper is a little bit more plain, so it'll help you see what the stamp looks like a little bit better. And we'll put this one on the front. And you can add more stamps. Dollar Tree has lots of stamps that say things like I love you, thinking of you, and those would be cute stamped on the outside. Then I take a marker and just kind of scribble across the front, and I write just some random words, almost like a fake address on the front, but I make it pretty much unreadable. You know, it's just kind of like a really messy cursive to make it look like the envelopes have been addressed. Then I take these brown tags from Dollar Tree, and I write like XOXO on the front and write with love. Then I take my marker and I add some like stitching around the outside edge and around the circle. And we're going to basically make bundles of love letters. We're going to do bundles of 3. And so when we tie these together, this will be the tag on the outside of the bundle. Let's add some little hearts there. So be creative. So then I tie them all together. If you want to, you can glue them together so they stay kind of separated. I add the tag once I have the twine on there, and then I add these little wooden hearts to the twine. And I actually stack a few of them and stagger them, but I glue them so they'll stay staggered like that. Then I just tie a knot and I cut the twine and leave just a tiny little tassel left behind. If you want to, you can paint those hearts or color them in. It's really up to you. But here's our first bundle of 3. And if you have those laser cutouts from Dollar Tree, like the little keys or heart shapes, those would look really cute here. So will the roses that they carry. And I actually painted that with a real light white, thin layer of white paint. So now we'll work on the box that we're going to add the love letters to. So we just have this little crate. We're going to paint it white, and then if you look down on the paper as I'm painting these, I have those 2 little roses. Those are the die cuts from Dollar Tree, and I just painted them red and pink. And we'll use those to cover up the pumpkin cutouts on the sides. Then I'm using some watered down brown paint and using it almost like a stain so I can weather the box a little bit, make it look aged a little bit. I didn't want it to look so bright, starking white. So we're adding that watered down brown paint to give it an aged look. And it's just brown paint with a tiny bit of water added to it. And you can see it in the cup there. You can see it's just a really thin paint. We wipe it off, the excess off with a paper towel. And it dries really quickly. Then we add those flowers to the handles to cover up those pumpkins. Just using hot glue. Now we have some wood heart shapes as well. We'll use those to decorate the outside of the box. And I'm going to take 4 beads to the bottom of the box with some hot glue to help it to stand up a little bit and look more like a raised up little container. And there's my cat helping as always. Then we've got some more of those hearts And we put some pearls on the outside. We had those from the other crafts that we did, so I decided to just add a few of those. So just decorate the box the way you feel like it. And then to add the letters to the box, I actually took a paper doily and I laid that down in the box first and just folded over the ends. And then I add the letters to the box. And then I had a few of these die cut hearts and I added those to the letters. I just liked the way that it looked when it was sitting in the box with those hearts, and it kept wanting to fall inside the box, so I taped it. And then I added a rose to the corner, and that's it. And I just love how this little box of love letters looks, my wreath that I made, and the heart tin. Very cute. So much ready for Valentine's Day. I hope you guys enjoy learning how to make these with me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.